In this lecture, we will see some of the most important terms that you need to know when dealing with printers and when getting a new one. We will see a practical example on how to select the most economic printer when you are deciding based on price. Some terms are very basic, while others need a little explanation. Let's start. Paper size is straightforward. What sizes of papers a printer can print? A4, A3, A5, and letter. And also paper type. There are many types. We are all familiar with plain and recycled, but if we need a printer to print certificates, for example, make sure you get the correct printer, which can print the needed type, for example, thick or thick 2. Printing speed is how many paper this printer can print, and for scanners, it's how many paper this printer's feeder can take. It's measured usually per minute, so you see it shortened to ppm, pages per minute. Duty cycle is very important. Manufacturers know how much volume their printers can print, so that you don't overuse your printer and shorten its lifetime faster. For example, HP 1102 printer duty cycle is 5000 pages per month. In this case, HP is telling you that in order to keep your printer functioning well for its lifetime, don't print more than that on your regular basis. It was not made for such huge volumes of printing. If you need more, you better get a heavier model. Quality is measured by how many dots will be in each square inch on the paper, similar to camera's resolution. In printers, the more dots per inch, the higher printing quality, and its unit is DPI, dots per inch. Printer internal memory is very useful for larger models of printers, which is the total size of the files that can be waiting in the printing queue to be printed. For example, a printer memory is 32 megabytes, and an employee is printing a 20 megabytes file to the printer. If another employee sent a 15 megabytes file to the printer while the first one is still printing, the printer cannot take the second order in the queue until the first one finishes, and after that, the second employee can resend the file to the printer. Duplexing is very useful, nature-friendly, and saves you a lot of paper. You are always encouraged to get a printer that supports printing on both sides of the paper automatically. Warm-up time is the time the printer takes to print the first paper after turning the printer on, and some people refer it to the time needed to print after being in power-saving mode. It's not very important unless the speed is crucial for the user. The bypass tray is the tray that's usually on the right side of the printer. It's used in some printers to print other types of papers, especially thick papers, where the paper may get stuck inside if it's thick because of rotation. The bypass might be useful in some cases if the printer supports that. The last term is cartridge, which is actually the tuner itself. Some call it cartridge and others use the word tuner. It's the same. These are probably the most important terms you need to be aware of regarding printers. Many other terms are important as well, like drum, heater, pickup rollers, and many others. But we don't want to make the list longer. Check the external links for this lecture for a full glossary for printing industry. Let's move to another related topic. When you want to buy a new printer and you are asked to get the cheapest one, is the cheapest one actually the cheapest? Let's see. When you want to get a printer, take into consideration these four main factors: the initial cost of the printer, the tuner price, and of course how many pages this tuner prints, and lastly, the drum costs and how much paper it prints. It's the second most consumable part after tuners. Let's see the example in the next slide. By the way, I came up with the prices in the example. They are just used to explain an idea, and they are not real product's price. XYZ company is getting a new printer for the office. Monthly average printing is 5000 pages, and they have two options to select from. Printer A, its initial cost is $200, while printer B costs $400. A is cheaper, right? Let's see. Printer A tuner costs $70 and it prints 3000 pages, while printer B tuner costs $100 and it prints 5000 pages. Still think A is cheaper? Printer A drum needs to be replaced after 15,000 pages and it costs $200, while printer B drum is replaced after 30,000 pages and it costs $300. As we see, all prices for the printer B appear to be higher, but if we do the math and calculate the printing costs for the first year with each printer and again do the calculations for 3 years use, do you know what we will get? True, printer B wins, and it's cheaper on 1 year and 3 years comparison. So be careful next time you choose a printer.